Okay, so to start off this Valentine look, we're going to fill in the eyebrow, and I'm using my sleek brow kit in the shade black, and then concealing this with my L'Oreal Infallible Concealer in the shade Cocoa. And I like to apply the product at the back of my hand because it warms up the product, and starts in the arch of my eyebrow, because if I have excess product, I don't want to put it at the front so it blends properly for me. And then I'm just going to take this down onto my eyelid. This will act as a transition color for when I use the e.l.f. concealer in the shade Fair Rose as my base for my eyeshadow, because using a bright base makes the colors stand out more. So if your eyeshadow isn't as pigmented, or even if it's pigmented, this actually makes the colors pop a bit more. So I'm using a blending brush to apply the concealer onto my eyelid. So I like using the e.l.f. concealer as a base because it dries as a matte finish, and I can work with this as a base for my eyeshadow. So for today's look, we're going to be using the Tammy Revolution palette and the shade Spice Island, which is number 9. So we're going to be using this as a transition color and as the main color as well, just the one color, number 9. And I'm using my blending brush, which is number 14 from the Duke brush set. So because this is a transition color, I would advise taking enough product and tapping off the excess or blowing off the excess before you put it on your eyelid. And you want to start at the crease and then blend that in properly. And then because we're using this one color for the main eyes, once you've blended in your transition color, then you take more product and then work that in downwards onto your entire lid. So if you don't have this specific palette, you can use any orange eyeshadow that you have. Next, we're going to go in with Black Heart on this Revolution palette. And I'm just going to blend this in, take a little bit at a time because we don't want it to be too much. Taking a little bit at a time and working that into our crease and just blending that in properly. If you have brown, that's fine, but I prefer using black, but taking a little bit. If you have excess, you tap it off. Next, we're going to take some of the brighter concealer and apply that onto the middle of our eyelid. Now we want to draw focus to that area, that's why we're applying this. The concealer acts as a bright base for the color we're going to put. So next we're going to apply gold onto the eyelid where we've put the bright concealer and just blend that out. And to avoid any harsh lines, we're going to use the orange that we used before to just blend that in. And next we're going to go in with I used pigments, gold pigments, to apply that onto where we applied the gold concealer, just to make that stand out a bit more. Next, we're going to go in with the same orange color again, and just taking a little bit of the product and just blending that in, and also blending over the gold color that we already have, but not too much because we don't want to overpower the gold. We just want to color the gold just a little bit, but keep that area standing out a bit more so it blends and fades in properly. And then next we're going to apply more of the pigment onto that area to make that gold actually pop a bit more but have like an orange undertone. After wiping off all the fallout, I'm going to go in with the same orange just to blend out any harsh lines, and then I'm going to go in with black, and I'm just going to use this as a liner just to give it more of like a feline look, and just taking that up a little bit into the crease to define the crease a bit more. But I'm just going to use this black shadow as the liner, so just to give it more of like a dramatic kind of look. You don't want to apply too much, you want to just you want it to stand out, but you don't want to put it all at the same time. So you take little product by little, so little by little you take the black and then you blend it in, you take more, you blend it in, take more, you blend it in, that process until you're satisfied with how vibrant it is. You don't want to just go in at the same time in case you make a mistake. If you notice that you put too much black, that's okay. Just use the orange and blend. Okay, so now that's done, I'm going to go in with my MAC strobing cream. I don't use primer because my skin is very oily and too much product on the skin actually makes it irritated. And I'm going to be using my Revolution Pro CC foundation and my Dew Care foundation brush. This foundation is actually very lightweight. It feels very nice on my skin. I don't break out because it's not too heavy and it's actually very full coverage, so a little actually goes a long way. After blending the foundation in, I'm going to be using my flat brush from Dew Care as well and just blending everything in, just buffing everything into my skin properly. So we're gonna go in with the concealer, and I'm using my Maybelline Eraser Concealer in the shade Tan, and I'm going to apply this under my eyes, the inner corners and outer corner, the bridge of my nose and my forehead, above my mouth and my chin. And then using a flat brush, I'm just going to blend this out properly. Even if you don't blend it the best, it's okay because we're going to use a beauty blender, but I like to use the flat brush to just spread out the product. So if you're like me and you struggle from watery eyes, I would advise not to use wet products under your eyes. That's why I advise to use the brush and just blend out the products first, and then you go in with your beauty blender. But whatever product you are using under your eye, make sure it's not wet. You can use a wet beauty blender for the rest of your face, that's fine. Make sure that the beauty blender you are using under your eyes is not wet. So I'm going to go in with a lighter concealer just to brighten up the inner corners and outer corners of my eye, and then just a little bit the same concealer that I used under my eyebrow. I'm just going to use that to blend out the concealer so I won't be looking like a ghost. So the beauty blender I'm using now is in fact a dry beauty blender because I'm working around my eyes, and it's important to use the shape of the beauty blender. Now I've turned it around. I'm using the bottom of the blender to just blend every single area of my face. Next, we're going to contour. I like to reverse contour because it's very hard sometimes to find the right shade of contour for my skin tone. So if you don't have it, just reverse contour. I like to use my foundation shade to actually contour my face. Using the tapered brush to actually go in with a darker foundation, and then I'm going to apply a bit of the Maybelline Eraser Concealer in the bridge of my nose and just blend that out with a small beauty blender. And next, I'm just going to use the tapered brush to blend everything and contour it properly. Next, I'm going to be using my number 7 translucent powder to set my face. So I like to put the powder in the inner corners of my under eye and the outer corners of my eye because those are the areas of my face I want to actually catch more light. I like to turn the beauty blender as I'm working my way through. And next I'm going to apply it above my lips, my forehead and my chin. I like to add the powder below my cheekbones because this actually draws light and emphasizes the actual cheekbones themselves. And I'm just going to use my powder brush to just blend everything away because I don't want to set my face too much. That's when it starts to get ashy. I'm just going to add a little bit more black to my eyes because I want it to be a bit more dramatic. Okay, so now the lashes are done, I'm just going to brighten my under eye by adding a little bit of the orange and smoking that out with the black. So just bringing the black into my under eye and just smoking that out. So using the highlighter brush from the Duquesne set, I'm going to be highlighting the top of my cheekbone, under my eyebrows, and areas on my face which I want light to hit, such as my nose, my lip, and my chin. And next we're going to be lining the lip. So I like to overline my top lip and to underline the bottom of my lip. This is just a personal preference. You can line your lip however is suitable for you. I'm just going to blend this out. I like to use a lip blending brush just to blend out any harsh line. And then once that's done, I go in with my e.l.f. lip plumping gloss. I really like the consistency of this lip gloss and I like how it feels. But yeah, feel free to add as much gloss as you need or to improvise on the lip. Is entirely up to you. You can have a nude lip, you can have a bold red lip with this look. But yeah, this is the final look, guys. I hope you like this video. My get ready with me Valentine date, virtual date look. Dress up your top half, leave the bottom half with your pajamas. Hashtag pandemic Valentine. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.